Alright, ladies and gentlemen, all two of you who are watching, welcome back to Mission 3 of our Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown Let's Play. Bringing to an end the arc that was started many years ago when I first made an Ace Combat 7 gameplay trailer breakdown. Still on the beginning of our journey, but we'll see how far we go. So here we go, getting ready for Mission 3, and we're going to go ahead and see what cutscenes we have in store for us this time. Hopefully not 10 minutes. And we're skipping straight to the briefing. Wow. So, I played this game all the way through
out after the declaration of war.
When it first came out on Xbox, but it's been so long that I actually don't quite remember.
The ships moored around the space elevator and near Gandar Bay have been hit particularly hard. Numerous ships have been sunk and abandoned. Fortunately, our cutting-edge aircraft carrier Kestrel 2 was at sea, so it was spared from the attack. Kestrel 2 is now preparing to launch another attack against Erusia's capital, Farbanti. The aircraft carrier Vulture also managed to escape Gandar Bay safely. However, it lost all its aircraft, so it's sailing empty. Today, the International Union Peacekeeping Force reclaims its bid to the space elevator. The Fort Gray's Island Air Base Squadron will rendezvous with the carrier Vulture for a joint mission. The first objective will be to seize air superiority in Schoppenberg in order to secure a route for the support squadrons. The enemy maintains air superiority over Schoppenberg, so expect heavy resistance from enemy aircraft. There's more, so listen carefully. Right from the start of the war, the enemy has been deploying drones. They're using a new advanced type of drone. The unmanned airborne aircraft carrier, the Arsenal Bird, carries this new drone, MQ-101. The Ocean Army headed up the development of the massive Arsenal Birds and dispatched them to the space elevator to provide support. However, it's been reported that the carriers may have fallen into the hands of the Erusian forces. If that's true, it could be a significant obstacle for us. We need to regain control of
I think
the space
Osea just needs
elevator
to
ASAP.
stop developing super weapons.
luck
Like,
out there.
everyone that they have built has been seized by the enemy at some point. Okay, let's get going here. I also love, so the Vulture, right? The Vulture, the original aircraft carrier Vulture, was sunk in Ace Combat 5, and so was the Kestrel later on at the end of the game. However, in this game, we have the Kestrel 2, which is presumably called the Kestrel 2 because they're trying to reference, like, ah, yes, Ace Combat 5, the Kestrel is so important to the plot of that game, because it was. But the Vulture was kind of just the throwaway, like, it shows up in one mission and it's sunk. Like, it's kind of funny that they would name, you know, why would you name the Kestrel 2 the Kestrel 2, but not the Vulture 2 the Vulture 2? And even, like, with modern ships, right, like, you know, like, there's been a bunch of ships named Enterprise in the U.S. Navy. Like, they're all just called USS Enterprise. They're not Enterprise 6, 7, etc. So it is just kind of funny. Like, it's the only reason the Kestrel 2 is called the Kestrel 2 is because plot, basically. But, alright. We are supposed to be flying off an aircraft carrier. So, let's see if we can get, well, you know, something that actually logically can fly off an aircraft carrier. I think the F-14, yeah, the F-14 is the only thing available to us that's carrier based. Okay, if we want to get super technical, there are versions of the MiG-29 that are carrier based, but you know, whatever. Alright, yes. We want the F-14 because it's the coolest plane to ever exist. Maybe not quite, but it's up there. It's a very, I don't know, I'm a big fan of the F-14. It's a pretty cool aircraft. Kind of funny that the Oceans, you get it, there's a lot of anachronism in Ace Combat. It is kind of funny that it's like we're still flying it in, you know, 2020 in this game when it was retired in 2006. Should I do the 8 missiles? That would be kind of cool. I'm gonna just use the the long-range air-to-air missile, because it is sort of the Tomcats, you know, that was sort of their thing. The Phoenix missiles were, you know, that was what the Tomcat was sort of developed hand-in-hand with, basically. So basically the Tomcat, you know, was developed as a interceptor to intercept and shoot down the Soviets' bombers, basically, as they were flying across the ocean if they were going to attack a carrier battle group or if they were going to attack other U.S. assets or bases. And the Phoenix was sort of developed to complement that. It was a long-range, heavy air-to-air missile that can engage targets from, I want to say, over 100 miles away, I believe. So, this carrier deck looks so good. If we stay low, is it like the old games where we can stay in the takeoff sequence as long as we stay below a certain altitude? I never really checked that. I think so. It doesn't appear that we've... so we've got a couple of escort ships, and of course we have the carrier here. Very nice. Oh, did you see that? You can see through the elevator, actually. I don't know if you caught that or not. You could actually see through the elevator into the deck of the ship. Time is running a little low here. But you can see into the elevator there. See that? We're going to pull up real quick so that way we don't fail the takeoff sequence.
H2, specified altitude reached, restrictions lifted. Good luck.
Alright, the textures on the plane actually, I don't know if you're noticing that, the textures on the plane were a little weird in the cutscene, but they look better in
the other bases squadrons already
real
joined
mission
forces
now.
and are engaged. You guys will arrive right in the middle of the action.
Alright.
Mage Squadron, eliminate all bandits in the current airspace. We have the upper hand, but that doesn't mean we can ease up. Good luck.
Mage 1.
I've spent so much time playing Ace Combat games in F-14.
Looking good, Mage Squadron. Keep up that pressure.
Alright, let's see here.
Guys that we get wet wild and do dirty things.
Let's see how many we can pick off at range.
Don't let them out of your sights, even in the clouds. And so, your first hunting season begins. Feeling out.
Alright.
If you can't evade a missile, use chaff and flares.
And of course we're fighting even more outdated fighters.
4 remaining.
I do like the craters on the ground. It's nice. Whoa, what is that? Oh, is that the moon? Huh, that's cool.
They got me.
3 remaining.
Let's see here. This would be so cool to play the whole campaign in VR. It would be pretty sweet. I'm just gonna see. It's still tracking me apparently. No, it's not. Alright.
We need reinforcements now.
Oh, wow. I feel like we were almost gonna collide there. I do like. That's just such a nice looking combat load out there. With all 6 of those. I have like a harder time flying in this game when I'm in the third-person view, honestly.
Looks like they weren't ready for a fight.
It is pretty.
Reinforcements, we're taking too much damage.
There we go. They've managed to, that is kind of nice, they've managed to find a nice blend, because like Ace Combat Assault Horizon, right? One thing that was, one of the few things that was nice about that game was sort of like the level of visceralness in the destruction of enemy aircraft. How they would fragment and fall apart and explode. It was just very cinematic looking. But of course the rest of the game was pretty terrible. So they've managed to do a pretty good job, I feel like, of making the destruction of aircraft still interesting without resorting to the whole on-rails, very scripted experience, which is nice. The dialogue is still pretty garbage, though.
What the hell?
Caution, missile!
Caution! A large aircraft is approaching. All aircraft, stay alert.
Oh boy. I love how we have all the little, whatever these birds are supposed to be, flying at lower altitude here, as the Arsenal bird makes its appearance. See, what's funny about this, right? So the Arsenal bird is, like, really heavily armed itself, but its main thing is it's supposed to be like an aircraft carrier or something. So, like, you think it would just stay relatively far away and just serve as a base for the drones?
They had that thing combat ready this whole time.
Yep, indeed. I'm not sure if, yeah, our missiles, because they do have relatively limited tracking, so I'm not sure if they're really going to be useful for dealing with these drones, but we're going to find out.
These guys are definitely a step above the last drones.
Oh, we did get one.
All aircraft, no change in game plan. Destroy the Arsenal bird.
Yeah, but not really.
Golem Squadron, take out Big Baby Huey.
Big Baby Huey. I love how, like, they never specified this was like a... Wait, is it already turning on its shield?
Skeleton 1 lost.
Alright, let's see if we can maybe do some damage to the main propeller here. Yeah, okay. So we can do some damage.
Status?
Find the situation.
The enemy's too fast, I can't keep up.
Missile launched.
Okay. So we've done some damage to the propellers. I'm not I can't remember, like, how much damage they're supposed to do or whatever before we just get told to nope out of here.
Shit, Golem 2, do you copy?
This is Golem 2. Instruments still appear to be functioning okay.
Golem 2, you gotta eat
Alright, let's see.
Skeleton 3's lost.
Where's that report? Continue to maintain air superiority.
I can't remember
What's happening?
the drones these are based off of. I can't remember if... I want to say they're actually called, like, X-45s or something, if I remember correctly. They actually have...
Caution.
Oh,
All
there's
aircraft,
the
stay
shield.
alert.
Yeah.
Breaking!
I think the shield's going up now. Yeah,
Skeleton
shield's
2
up.
lost.
I love how they just casually are like, yeah, it's got a shield,
Skeleton squadron
whatever.
is down. We've had too many losses.
Let's see.
All squadrons, command is
there we
ordered a
go.
complete withdrawal. Leave the operation area immediately.
It's like, that's a really useful technology that you could probably deploy on more than just,
Save
you
your chatter
know,
for the debriefing.
flying giant
All inmates,
things.
squadron, give our allies some time to escape.
Wilco,
That's
but
funny.
Golem 2's hit.
It's like you
Gotta
think you'd
send her
put
back.
that on your
Let's get
aircraft
dirty,
carriers,
Trigger.
you know, like your regular one. That might have been helpful.
Shoot down
Or
those
the space
UAVs.
elevator.
Don't let them touch any friendlies.
Golem
You
2,
think if you
head
had
back
a
to
shield
base.
like that, it would be really difficult to
two.
assault entrenched
Mission.
positions.
Still got my wings. Trigger doesn't need to fill in for me. I'm back and I...
You won't make any difference up here. Get back to base and cool your head.
Let's see
Copy
here.
that. Returning home.
Yeah, but she's gonna die. Right? That's what we all know is gonna happen.
Missile away.
Alright.
H2, UAV down.
Don't think, focus.
I love how they call it for you, too. Because it's like, you know, you're a silent protagonist. You get it.
That a boy, Mage 2. Just keep firing.
It's like they're all paying attention to what you're doing instead of just trying to, you know, keep themselves from getting shot down.
Golem squadron, Mage
In fairness, I'm pretty much the only one doing anything. That is, you know, a typical video game
Trigger, they're
trope.
machines. Don't show them any mercy.
I don't show any mercy to the ones with people in them either.
Not on my watch.
Let's see.
Mage 2, enemy sighted on your tail.
There we go.
Mage squadron, you're going toe-to-toe with the UAVs. Good work.
We noticed. Thank
More
you.
UAVs spotted. Gargoyle Squadron, they might cut off your retreat.
My status is fine. Affirmative.
This is Gargoyle 1, leading Operation Airspace on Column 2.
Retreating aircrafts, prepare for combat. It's a bogey. Gargoyle 1, Column 2, engage now. Attack.
One bandit, SU-30.
Gargoyle 1, caution! Missile!
Alright.
Skykeeper, Gargoyle 1 lost.
What the hell? Column 2, status report. Just talk to me.
I'm against an SU-30. Which wingtips? I can't shake it off. It's matching me move for move.
Golem 2, stop dogfighting and run.
I love how it's the typical, like, creeper, like, I'm learning from my enemies. It's like,
Your ass is out.
but not really, though. I mean, if they're rookie pilots, like, what do you really have to learn from them, you know? Like, that's the funny part about these aces, they're like, ah, yes, you must seek to
Page 2, UAV
understand.
down. Keep it up, buddy.
Short-range aircraft. We'll let you take it easy next time.
Let's see here.
Jet meat. I don't get it. Why isn't it opening fire?
Because he's stupid.
Scared.
This is not
Oh yeah, he's scared. Oh no.
Does main squadron still have their hot shot? Then we just might make it out. Don't look back, just have faith. Column and main, we know you would get.
Let's see here.
hell of a good job, Mage 2. We want as many guys out here as possible.
I'm grateful you're around.
Golem 2, what's your status?
Go ahead and get rid of the last two of our, such bad dialogue.
H2, support!
You're in the wrong area, okay? Why are you even going that way? It's like, it wasn't even along our avenue of retreat, I don't think.
Column 2, lost.
Shit. Skykeeper, where's the one that got brony?
I'm afraid he's long gone by now. Sorry.
Alright, there we go. I actually kind of like the turbulence
All
in
UAVs
the
have been
game,
splashed.
honestly. Like, I know some people find it annoying, but it does add something to it, and it is something you
said what
really
I had to
encounter.
say.
Well, you really
About
didn't.
what? Not a girl who'd retreat. Just not in her DNA. That was the right decision at the time. No, I should have never let a fledgling like her out of my reach to begin with.
Golem Squadron, Maid Squadron, withdraw.
Well, we did get quite a few of them at least.
H2, we have you on radar. You are cleared for approach. The deck is clear. H2, you are cleared for landing.
I love how they always line you up in this kind of weird orientation, just to
Lower your
make
speed.
it so you have to maneuver a little bit.
3,000 to carrier. H2, bank right. H2, lower your nose. You're too high.
Okay, let's see here. I always like
1800 to
to
carrier.
this in place.
Your approach looks good. Stay on course.
Now, technically, what we should have done there is throttle up, right, as soon as we hit, and I'm a little off the center line, which is a bummer, but I feel like we landed. I think we landed technically a little early, but
Maid
that's alright.
Squadron, this is the situation. Golem and the other bases squadrons already joined forces and are engaged.
Because with a carrier, you actually want to throttle up as soon as you hit the deck, basically, just in case you don't snag the wire. So that way you don't just, like, off the deck
Unfortunately, the two front
and
offensive
land
was a
in the
failure.
ocean.
The aircraft carrier.
Yeah, the Kestrel 2 was
It's
sunk.
hard.
What a bummer.
Situ-
Thank you.
we have.
Yep, bummer. Alright, cool. Got an A rank again. Good enough. So, alright guys, thanks for watching episode 3 of the East Combat 7 Skies Unknown Let's Play. Those of you who actually are watching, probably no one. But, it was fun making it anyway. So with that, have a nice day.